Let me tell you about them slapping a hard dick across the back of my neck. Let me tell you about Charles Lucas and their drug peddling pieces of shit. David Keith. Cannabis at the Osbournes out by Papaw's old garage. And then him hanging out with Sam Bavard and Ravana and the rapey people at the Kehoe Barn and Comprehend. Oh well. Sorry, I have my blood pressure pill and antifungal in my mouth. Oh, God, that antifungal is so bitter. So bitter. That's a lie. As I said, my mother smothered me, but it wouldn't be surprising if my sister had done it and Bonnie and Debbie just lied about it. Because my sister, they don't like me telling my story. We're sending a cease and desist? Yeah, right. You people lied about shit for 30 years. You're not going to get away with it. So let me tell you about social work here. The University of Cincinnati didn't even set up at-home, services after her major brain surgery. So I finally called them and I'm like, what in the fuck are you all doing? Why in the hell was this the way it is? So they, got Spirit Home Care involved. They were pretty good. I can't complain. Excuse me. They said it was only heartburn. In reality, the antipsychotic medications cause a lot of really nasty physical side effects. They told me that my reality needed, a check. I'm sorry that I'm not able to farm in human trafficking, but that's all they want. My parents should be able to do their own jobs without sitting there complaining about, instead of complaining about, we put a roof over your head and food in your stomach and you owe us something. That's called human trafficking, especially when your father is molesting you and bludgeoning you. Especially when your mother is giving you diesel fuel marinated steak and bleach to drink, because they don't want you singing. Oh, come all ye faithful. Anyway. It was quite horrific. It really was. So I think it's hilarious that they used Patrick Boggs as their liaison during that meth raid. Of course, he's the sheriff. Who else would they use? But at the same time, so let me tell you how they mashed me. It was so awful. Me trying to handle everything as best as I could. Me trying not to complain, But like I said, Taylor and Karen, they wouldn't even send us a goddamn Christmas card. Oh well. Let me tell you the hell I went through with my family only for them to tell me to stop complaining and that I didn't work hard enough with dick shoved in my mouth and up my ass at the same time. I never saw a dime of it. They did. It's enough to make anybody want to die, crying. But that was just my life. Richard said, yeah, hooray. So let me tell you about the medical kidnapping in the case that I mentioned with law enforcement raping me and then calling me a liar, rape being nothing but a delusion. So let me tell you about Kenton Pumpelly's probably about 8.5, nice, 8.5, and his tattoo on his left thigh. If you all want to argue that I have no proof or evidence, I hope you eat shit. The school board paying for biology, yeah, I hope they had a good time reporting that. Causing even more injury, hooray. No clue. Hello? Them saying that I said things. Well, you know, I'm not used to people just showing up and being right next to me. I have Tourette's syndrome, and they punished me severely for it, and they called it biblical. Well, let me tell you about behind closed doors with the Blair family. LaShara Blair murdered my cousin. Not literally. She ran over her, not paying attention during a turn, being on her cell phone. But because she had just had a, traumatic loss in her life, she didn't get charged with it that I'm aware of. Plus, they claimed Brenda was suicidal, so it was just, So do you see how they look down on mental illness because it's biblical? Well, let me tell you about biblical. It's called Matthew 5:7, karma, Newton's third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. When I made out my statements, I said, you people should be aware of the night terrors, of which some of these are. That medication they put me on after having night terrors to boot causes mood disorders. Or not mood disorders, dream disorders, sleep disorders. And, I loved it. My cousin asked me, why in the hell are you laughing? What is so funny? Well, reading about this Seroquel, it says it'll cause mood disorders and mood swings. So it's just a way to trap people. What fun. So let me tell you about being human trafficked and then them funneling me into their disgusting system. Then them crying about the self-harm caused by the side effects of that medication. So let me tell you about Stockton and Kim and their grand scheme, apparently, to get rid of me because of the child porn and diddling kids that I knew about. I'm sorry I had a mental health crisis with psychotic episodes. I couldn't even talk to my own mother about being raped. It was men don't get raped. So let me tell you about the federal officials involved in this. Oh well. The people don't like listening to me chanting, and the Tourette's sometimes. Normally I just chant, kind of quietly. If the Tourette's pops out, it gets loud. Well, let me tell you about listening to this neighbor. Bust a nut. Man, it must have been a good one today. Or the neighbors over there, burning shit in their backyard to release the negative energy. So let me tell you about them. Oh well. I did the best I could. The best I could, trying to document my life. But it was seen as, we don't have time for you to talk about it. You're a peasant, you're gay, white supremacists are, anti-homo, or homophobic, whatever. So let me tell you about getting soap on a rope from the same people, well, not the same people, the same organization that allowed a dog to sodomize me. And, because my mother had killed me as a child, I was in hell and just needed to get used to it. That was their psychological programming to try to help things. It was sickening. Oh well. So let me tell you about trying to sleep at night because of legal paperwork, getting punched in the arm, smelling dick shoved in my face. No thank you. Honestly, why do I smell dick? Oh well, so let me tell you about them assaulting me. You told us that's what you wanted. And it's like, no, I don't like you people in my face. I don't like penises shoved in my throat until I'm vomiting on them. That's just me. I really wish that I could not have to depend on other people. I really do. They claim that them having to financially support me is a burden. No shit. My health's a fucking burden that you people help create and then claim no responsibility for it. They threatened me with legal action for talking. I'd like to press charges against the people who did this, only for them to come in and threaten me yet again because that never happened, and disagreeing with them was seen as aggression. So let me tell you about Deputy Gill's wife going from Stephanie Gollenstein Schumacher's drug peddling department to Comprehend. Rebecca Lewis Gill. Pretty sure Matt's her cousin. Oh well. So let me just talk about all of this publicly since they don't feel like handling it on paper the way it should be.